Hi, I'm Jillian and welcome to the show. I offer spiritual growth for the rebel soul, guiding you through the labyrinth of your own ascension path. This show is for the rebel souls that challenge the status quo, those that crave authenticity in every single aspect of their lives, that desire to embrace their uniqueness, follow their passions, connect to their soul, and live according to who they truly are, even if that means having the courage to go against the grain or the norms of society. If that's you, my spiritual soul seeker, rebel warrior, then this is the place for you. On this podcast, we speak about everything from spirituality, sexuality, conscious relationships, business, and literally everything in between. So if that's your jam, then stay tuned. And go on, be a rebel and subscribe. You know you want to. Welcome back. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about the thing that happens with our relationships when you start to spiritually awaken, when you start to do the inner work and become more self-aware, more in tune with your own intuition and ultimately your own purpose. What happens to our relationships? What happens to all of the relationships that we've ever known or ever had in our life when we start to awaken? Like, this is a topic that really impacts everyone that's going through their own spiritual journey, because our relationships are inevitably going to change. And what happens is when someone is no longer in alignment with you, your body will start to reject their energy. Like, you will start to reject their energy because you become more in tune with your own authentic self, with your own authentic truth in your path. And when you start to do the healing work, all of those masks, all of those limitations, all of those old beliefs, the trauma, the thoughts about yourself just start to dissipate over time. And that also means that you may not be in alignment with the people that you used to. And look, it can be a really challenging period to go through because, you know, the people that are closest to us, our closest connections, our family, our friends, you know, our workmates, the people that we used to party with or whatever it is, like, that's kind of like all we know. So a lot of the awakening experiences that you can have do mean a real resembling of your relationships, you know, because like I said, when you're no longer in alignment with someone, you're gonna start to reject their energy in different ways. You know, like, have you ever been around someone that used to feel like your safe space and now just being with them feels, I don't know, draining, tense, or even like physically uncomfortable? You know, that could be your longtime friend, a partner, or even a family member. And like, I just want to let you know that you are not imagining it. Your body is literally reacting to just a misalignment of energy. Now, what does it actually mean to be out of alignment? So being in alignment means that your energies are resonating harmoniously. You know, you're in balance, you're in a natural flow with your connection, you feel supported, you feel understood, you know, you're vibrating at the same or aligned, at least, frequency to that person. And when we talk about energy, vibration, and frequency, we are all energy. Matter is all energy, like quantum physics tells us so. So it's not just the woo, science proves this. And we are made up of a certain energetic frequency, like a fingerprint almost. And that is made from our own experiences, our emotions, our traumas, our beliefs, our soul, our habits, the people that are around us. Our energy is influenced by all of these things. And not just in this life, but, you know, obviously all of our lifetimes too. And ultimately, we can, let's say, vibrate, because energy is just oscillation. Energy is atoms vibrating at a certain frequency. And those can be high or those can be low. You know, those could be like the equivalent of light as a feather or as dense or heavy as a brick. And the things that kind of keep us in low frequency or weigh us down are, our toxicity, our environments that don't fulfill us, are holding on to old resentments and hurt, from wearing masks, from limiting beliefs, from suppressed emotions, from all of our trauma that we've experienced, any bad habits. Like, all of this can keep us in these lower vibrations of energy, right? And when we start to do this work, when we start to connect to our own spiritual gifts, our own intuition, our own psychic gifts, and start to do the healing work on a bigger scale, our vibration, our level of self-awareness, our level of consciousness around ourselves and others, and the interconnectedness of everything, it ascends, right? So we become, let's say, lighter. Or we have a higher frequency. So when we start to do this work, when we start to spiritually grow and shift, we might be getting, let's say, lighter, for better of a better word, and the other people in our lives could still be stagnating. Their energy could feel dense or heavy because they're not going through or not investing in themselves the way that you are. And like, you can start to feel that, like, as we grow and evolve and change, like I said, and not all of our relationships are going to grow with us. Because you have now this heightened awareness, you've gone through these energetic shifts, that like the people that aren't evolving with you can just start to feel like they're pulling you back. And, your body is the litmus test of energy. And the more that you become in tune with your body, the more that you start to be able to read the subtle energies of people, places, and things, you're going to really start to notice. You're going to start to notice all of these energetic shifts that you would have never probably ever felt or noticed before when you hadn't gone through an awakening, when you were less conscious, let's just say that, right? So these are some of the signs to look out for, right? Like, if you're going through this awakening and you've noticed that your relationships are shifting, or you're feeling a kind of different way about it, then there are telltale signs that you maybe just no longer in alignment with this person. So you can feel exhausted. This is a big sign. Anytime that you feel exhausted after time together, you're feeling drained, you're feeling just completely off after you meet someone. And the interaction could have been nice. It could have been like normal. It could have been neutral. But then you come away from that meeting or that experience and just feel like, I just don't feel okay. I just feel off somehow. And this is a really great sign that your body is just telling you that your energy is just out of balance. It's just not in alignment with this person now. And again, it might not feel like this person is draining your energy, or they might not be an energy vampire at all. It's just, again, your body just becomes much more susceptible to understanding the subtle energy shifts that start to happen when we awaken. And another sign is extra physical symptoms. You might, apart from tiredness, you might start to kind of have feelings of anxiety, headaches, just heaviness, digestive issues. Again, that's your body just reacting to the stress of a potential misalignment. Another big one is to wanting avoidance of that person, or wanting distance from that person. There might have been a time where you loved hanging out with them, where you wanted to be in their presence all the time, and now you just kind of find yourself avoiding their calls, canceling plans, you might not realize, but you're just like, I just kind of maybe just don't want to hang out with them, don't want to see them, but you don't understand why. And it just could be your body, your intuition, pushing you to create some space between your energies, because, again, they just don't feel good or don't feel aligned anymore. And like I said, there's no good or there's no bad about these signs and symptoms or our relationship shifting and moving. It's just part of your growth. It's just part of your process. And I know a lot of feelings can come up around feeling lonely, or feeling like you want to isolate yourself from the people that you used to like love and care about, or it could end up breaking up your relationship. And it's confusing, and it's all of these things, but just know, again, this is just part of the process, because you are being guided to people that are more aligned. It's like once you start doing the work on yourself, like you can't turn back. And the people, the places, the environments that we are putting ourselves in impact our energy, impact our growth so much. So the reasons that you're being given all of these physical like symptoms is because you're being asked to really trust it. You're being asked to let go of the things, the people, the relationships, the habits, the beliefs, whatever it is that just are no longer in alignment for you, because you are here for more. You are here to do bigger things. You are here to make an impact and a difference in the world. But obviously, it firstly starts with you. And growth means expansion, and expansion can feel uncomfortable at times. But just know that like everybody goes through this. And, I really want you to just acknowledge your feelings, because it's so easy just to push it all down and be like, no, I've been with my partner for, the last 7 years, and I'm just trying to ignore these new feelings that I'm feeling about them. But we can't, you just please don't dismiss what your body is trying to tell you. Like, it's okay to admit that something is shifted, like even if it's uncomfortable, even if you don't have the answers. But it's very much like the first step really is acknowledging it to yourself. And then ultimately, then the second step is just being able to set better boundaries, or take some space. It's okay to take the necessary space to reassess and protect your energy. Because like I said, the more sensitive that you become when you're going through a spiritual awakening, it can feel quite overwhelming. So really creating space, or really creating new boundaries, can just help you navigate like the new dynamic with the people in your life without cutting ties completely, obviously, if that's what you choose. And sometimes you'll be very surprised. It's like sometimes you just going on this path by yourself and creating these new boundaries with the people in your life, you'd be actually very surprised who then starts to come on the journey with you. But again, you can't force anyone to grow with you. You can't force anyone. Everyone is on their own cycle. Everyone is on their own timeline when it comes to their own spiritual journey and their own healing journey. And just because you are, steaming ahead doesn't mean that they are going to be able to match you. But it's just kind of keeping it open, without obviously bastardizing your own energy or what feels good for you, and just kind of let them do their thing, right? And also a big thing to contemplate, right? Like over and above this is just reflecting on the bigger picture of this relationship. Like, are you actually growing in the right direction? Are you growing in the same direction, even though it might be at different paces? Are you still both growing? Is that something that can still be worked on? Can you still create a relationship or have a relationship? Or maybe the relationship dynamic just needs to change in some way. Or are you really just growing in different directions? Like, are there any unresolved issues that you're just ignoring? So, like, again, just taking the time to reflect on whether this connection that feels different or is changing can actually evolve with you, or if in fact it is time to let go. Because as I said, sometimes it is time to let go. Through my personal experience, I was very fortunate that, like, I went through that place where I'm like, I had friends that I used to party with, and, although, like, I loved them and I know that they cared so deeply about me, it was like, that's what we used to do together. And when I went through, like, a huge shift, I didn't want to do those things anymore. I didn't want to go to bars. I didn't want to drink. I didn't want to be out and doing any of those things. Like, I became really sensitive to energy. I wanted to spend a lot of time by myself. And, I started gravitating towards people that felt like more aligned to my energy than maybe some other people used to. And, I at some point had a really like challenging conversations with some of my old friends, and just said, look, I'm on this journey, and I don't know where it's going to take me, and these are the changes that I'm seeing in myself. And we had this relationship where we would go out and drink and party and stuff, and I just don't know what that now looks like for me. I don't know what that looks like for us. And just by me vocalizing that and being very honest with where I was with things, and it kind of has allowed them to shift and grow also in their own time. And sometimes when we are really truthful and honest about what we're going through, and we're being very vulnerable with it also allows, and it's like gives other people permission to do the same. And again, like, I was just so, two particular people in my life, I was like, oh, I don't know what this is going to even look like, because, they were my party friends. And yeah, we've actually shifted the things that we do now. And, they don't even like really party that much anymore, or, one of them doesn't even drink anymore. So they've gone through their own shifts in their own way and in their own time. And me just taking the space and just having different boundaries and just being truthful and authentic with where I was and where I saw maybe our relationship was actually the most beneficial thing that I could do. But I also do recognize that some relationships are just no longer in alignment with you. And I do believe, honestly, that all of our relationships are here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? We are here to learn and grow from each other, and from the mirrors that we point on each other, right? What is the reflection back about ourselves from all of our interactions, all of our dynamics? And some things aren't meant to last forever, and that's okay. People can go out of your life and then come back. Potentially they just needed space too. So like, this is such a two-way street, right? Like, just because you're going through your own ascension journey, other people might be too. And just know that if anyone leaves your life or or has a pullback from you, then it's okay. If they're meant to come back, then they'll come back. And if they're not, then they won't. And I always say it's like, it's either this or something better. It's like, if it's not this, then, universe, give me something better. So again, this is just an ethos when it comes to our relationships, that if we're looking at it from like a higher perspective for our biggest growth, that, we want to be making space for more aligned people that are going to support us in our next phase of growth, to become the person that we were truly meant to be, to share our gifts, to be the most authentic and vulnerable and amazing version of ourselves. And some of the people from our past, or some of the people that we're currently like spending our time with, are not going to be those people, and that's okay. You're making space for new. And I just want to say, when you're going through this and when you're letting go of people, you will always attract the new. Like, it is destined. Energy, like, our energy is a magnet for similar vibrations and similar frequencies. So the minute that you start raising yours, the minute that you start shifting your energy, you will attract more aligned people into your life. You will attract more spiritually based people. You will attract people that have your same beliefs. The people that you can say the wildest, crazy, the spiritual woo-woo things to, and they're like, yeah, I get it. Cool. Rather than call you out or call you weird. So just, again, I just want to preface this, that letting go is making way for something better, something new. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know to embrace the shift. It is tough. I know it is tough to accept that not every relationship is going to last forever, and not meant to last forever, but holding on to connections that no longer align with you, your soul's path, is going to block the relationships and the new experiences that are meant for you, because they're there for you. They're waiting for you. They're waiting to come in for you. But like, if you're holding on to these old, outdated relationships that are, keeping you in unhealthy habits, keeping you in unhealthy behaviors, then you're never going to make space for what's truly available for you. And it is really important to honor these shifts, you know, like your soul is evolving and so is your capacity for connection when you're going through awakening. Like connection is one of the biggest things, because like you're not only connecting to the most authentic version of yourself, you're also increasing your capacity to hold more aligned and more authentic and more unconditionally loving experiences and people. So just trust that letting go of the people that no longer align with you will create space for the relationships and experiences that do. So if you want to understand more about your path, your mission, your relationships, how to protect your energy, how to create boundaries, and what the future holds for you when you're going through and navigating your spiritual awakening, when your intuition is coming online, when you know you're here to work with your spiritual gifts in some way, and you just need that guidance, you need that support, you're on your healing path. If you need support, then all of the links below of how to work with me are below. In my Path program, it's my 12-week one-on-one private transformational program. Is extremely potent, it's extremely powerful. It's for the person that is ready to make quantum leaps and shifts in their life, their business, their career, their relationships, their spiritual growth, their bank balance, because everything is just intertwined. Or if you want to book a individual one-on-one coaching healing session, a reading, a past life regression, or a future life progression, then you can also book that as well. All the details are below. And if you're ready to step into your own intuitive powers, connect and start channeling your spirit guides, even potentially go into a business doing readings, healings, or mediumship, then you can join the Rebel Psychic School. It's a 3-month psychic development program where we work with your energy, raise your frequency, clear all of your blocks, your intuitive blocks, awaken your spiritual gifts and your unique psychic senses, channel your spirit guides, and much, much more. That starts on the 12th of January, but enrollment is open now. So if you want to join me there, then again, all the links are below. And I can't wait to see you, work with you, or just share this energy with you. I hope you've enjoyed this, guys, and I will see you on the next one.